Hey fam, it's just Jada. I'm back. I know I've been gone for a very long time, and in another video, I will explain to you why. But for right now, let's get down to business. So today's video will be about working while in PT school. This is not going to be a tips, like 5 tips for how to do this, because my best advice is don't work while you're in PT school, but I, for one, do not have that luxury. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I'm hoping that someone who is in the same situation as I am will listen to this video, weigh their options, and worst case scenario, if they do have to work, then, maybe they'll gain something from this video. So they'll learn from my mistakes, apply what I did right, and be successful in what they do. So I know some of my classmates who are able to not work and still survive. I, for one, I cannot do that. I have to work. And working while in PT school, they tell you from the beginning, it's a huge no-no. Like, don't do it. You have to focus. Your first year is the hardest. It's harder than being in the first year of medical school because it's not pass-fail. It's on a grade system. It's on a percentage system. So it's really intense. But, I had to make some coins to live. So I did indeed work my first year. Now, I didn't have like a full-time job during my first year. I babysit. So I'm a professional babysitter, and I have a few clients around the city that I live in. So I'm really thankful for that opportunity. It's something that I've had for a few years, and I love it. I love working with kids. I love meeting new families. I love interacting with different type of personalities, whether it be with parents or children. Absolutely love it. But, when you're with a child and they won't go down for bedtime, and I would never force a child to go to sleep. I will use my techniques that I've learned over the years, but I'm not going to just be, I need to go study, so you need to go to sleep. No, I would never do that. But there are moments when the child just will not cooperate, or they want you to play with them. I play with the children. I interact with them. They think I'm just a tall kid. And some kids are actually surprised to find out that I can use a stove or an oven because I am a grown-up. I'm an adult. So I'm not just there to watch them. I actually play, interact, listen, talk to them. So there's moments when I'm playing with them and I just kind of want to sneak away and open up my laptop and study, but I can't. So I will say this: do not work the night before or 2 nights before an exam. That just, and it's crazy because I did need to work. I never like to turn down a job, and also because it is my business, I don't like to turn down a job. So if I had a gig the night before an exam, I would say yes to it, and I would, interact with the child the entire night and then get home and have to pull an all-nighter to study for the exam or review. That was very stressful. If I could have avoided that stress, I would have. But like I said, my situation did not allow me to say no to a job. Sometimes I could have, but like I said, it's my business. I don't want to be unreliable to the parents that I work for. So I always said yes. Another thing I would say is make sure that whatever job you have or that you take up, let them know that you are a student. Not everyone's going to be accommodating. And I feel like working a job where your boss or your coworkers are not understanding, that should be your last resource. Do not work that job unless you have to, because that would just stress you out so much more. Again, my best advice is do not work during your first year of PT school. But if you have to, do not work a job that's super demanding, because it's just going to put you back, and it's going to add more stress when DPT school is already very stressful. Something that did help me though while working is my time management skills became very good. Very good. I know that when I needed to study, I needed to study. When I had to work, I had to work. When I had to go to class, and then I had to plan out my entire day. Sometimes I would leave my house at 7 a.m. to be at class on time. Be in class all day, like 8 to 4, 8 to 5 sometimes. Study for an hour with my classmates, my friends, and then I would have to be to work at 6:30, and then be there until 11, and then get home at midnight, and then have to study from midnight until maybe 4 a.m. and then be at class at 8 a.m. So that was extremely hard, and I don't regret anything, but it just wasn't ideal, but I had to do it. And if you do schedule out your day or schedule out your week, stick to it. Try not to veer to the left, to the right. Just go right through it. Definitely do your best to schedule study time. Please, like, if you have to schedule every single second of your life in order to make sure you study, you work, you go to class, you pass your exams, turn in your assignments on time, do that. You can never go overboard with planning out your day or your week or even your month. I will say that if you turn in an assignment late, or if you start to fall behind in your grades because you are working, just try to exhaust all of your options before working, because talk to your professors, talk to the faculty. Maybe they have something for you. Maybe they have something for you in a lab or something like that, because once you fall behind, I don't think that, no matter how accommodating your program is, the rules are still the rules. If they told you don't work and then you start to fall behind because you are working, I feel like they're not going to be as accommodating, and they're not going to be as understanding as you want them to be. I know that my grades did not fall, but I know that if I would have just said no to a few jobs, then maybe I would have done better on that exam that I had the next day. But I mean, overall, it was okay. I will say, now that we are in a pandemic and we're not in face-to-face class right now, I have taken on a full-time job, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I'm working as a nanny. So what I've been doing is, the kids have essentially been attending DPT class, because if I have class, and of course I'm with the kids, it's 2 of them, I have to open up my laptop, log on, and they know if I get my laptop out, then it's time for class. And what they'll do is kind of do their thing on their own. Of course, I'm still in the room the entire time. I am paying attention to them. One of them is an infant. The other is a toddler, so I do have to pay attention to them, but they also know, okay, Miss Jada's in class. They do like to listen to the lecture. I don't know if they understand what's happening, but they do listen to my professors. They do like to say hi to my classmates and my professors when time allows it. If I have a test, their parents are very accommodating. They will take the boys for me for a little while I take my exam. Or if I take my quiz, they'll also accommodate that as well, because they do not want me falling behind in class. Class comes first. They do need this extra help, but not at the expense of my education. I also need the money, but again, not at the expense of my education, because I am a student first. Another thing I would say is, since taking on this full-time job, I told myself, if my grade starts to fall, I will quit. I love these boys. I love this family, but again, not at the expense of my education. So I told myself, if my grades start to fall, the first exam I take, if my grade is just not where it should be, then I would quit. Well, I've been working for about 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. And my grades have gotten better. And I think it's because I have been doing better time management. I work 9 to 5. I come home, I shower, I change my clothes, of course, because of COVID-19 and germs. And then I maybe relax for about a half hour max. I eat, and then I study. I study from about 6:30 to midnight. I do sometimes have study groups with my classmates to make sure I am on track and I'm studying the right stuff. Sometimes another classmate of mine and I will be on Zoom, but we'll be silent and we'll mute our computers, and we will study, motivate each other to study and to focus. So I think that's another reason why my grades haven't fallen at all, because I do have classmates who are supportive of me and they do try to help me out. I have a family that's very accommodating. Thank goodness. The boys, they don't understand, but they also do try to help me out with class. I do schedule my day top to bottom. As soon as I wake up, I have to do this. Before I go to sleep, I need to do this. I study a lot. Like, the city that I'm in is in the yellow zone. So we are allowed to do some things during COVID-19, this pandemic, but not all things. I would be able to see my friends at this point, but because my day is so packed and I do need to study, I don't see my friends that much. We still are FaceTiming and Zooming as a means of communication and seeing each other, which is totally okay. I spend my weekends still studying. I haven't done anything really, like some people are doing cookouts and stuff like that, but because I can't study all day because I'm working and I do interact with these kids as well, I use the weekends to study and catch up. So yeah, that's been my working experience. However, as soon as we're allowed back on campus, which is in a few weeks, for in-class, face-to-face classes, it won't be all day. There's like a lot of rules and restrictions because of the pandemic. But once I start back, I will not be working 9 to 5. The family will be accommodating and we're going to see around my schedule, but I won't be working 9 to 5 because I have to now go onto campus, be in class for a longer period of time. So that's that, but I still do plan on working because, like I said, I can't up and not have money coming in. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Like I said, this is not a tip video, but my greatest advice would be to not work. Exhaust all of your resources, legal resources, before you make the decision to work. But that's my story. That's my take on the matter. If you guys want, I can ask my classmates what they do to work or have money coming in. I can ask my classmates who do not work how they're surviving, how they're living. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about next. Bye.